Cape Town has joined the global trend of offering Jewish leadership programs of excellence. Having researched local and international business models, both general and Jewish, the Eliot Osrin Leadership Institute has customized a program to meet the needs and succession of leadership roles within the Jewish community.
The Eliot Osrin Leadership Institute was conceived when Eliot Osrin passed away, and there was a recognition that Eliot gave many of us the ability to understand ourselves as leaders, to teach us to have humility and compassion as a mentor and a guide to us in a very complex world where leadership is not quite understood and is considered sometimes to be the gatekeepers of the community. And what Eliot showed us was a path and a vision for bringing people in and understanding diversity within the community.
Eliot was so involved with the community, really from a financial side. He set up all these wonderful trusts that create huge cash flow for our community. And we thought, what better way to honor him than to set up an institute to create future leadership for our communities. In other words, we future-proofed on the financial side and on the leadership side.
Many of the leadership programs that exist are around young leadership, and we recognize that the important next step for our community is around creating a pipeline of leadership for succession. And so we recruited across the sector between 40 to 60-year-olds, and after applications from 60 different participants or applicants, we landed up recruiting 32 candidates for our first cohort.
For me, I think it's an opportunity for potential leadership to understand and get a viewpoint of what the community is all about. I think that especially amongst the younger generations, people don't fully understand the enormity of the work that's done within the community, the commitment that's required in order to run a community such as our Cape Town Jewish community, and I think it exposes all the organizations and the great work that's done.
We devised a program that consisted of 3 modules, led by faculty who are business teachers in the academies of business leadership programs at our universities. We focused on 3 different modules, the first one being about self and growth and understanding the makeup of the community. The second was around ethical leadership in a divided society, an unequal society, and also focusing on the Jewish lens to recognize that there's diversity and difference in the community, and how we as leaders need to create culture and understanding within the community that would be able to build an ethos that mirrored the legacy of humility of the late Eliot.
Our brief encouraged us to explore what Jewish sources and texts say about food in relation to health, ethics, environmental sustainability, tradition and history. We looked at how we could encourage our institutions, including our shuls, schools and residential institutions, to participate in growing food.
The third component was one of action learning. Very often courses are around talk shops, and here this particular action learning was a very serious understanding of actually working within the community from a practical point of view, as taking challenges within the community that are current issues and trends that we need to investigate, research and come up with solutions for going forward in the community.
The fourth industrial revolution is upon us. Artificial intelligence, robotics and high tech, a disruptor of huge proportions. We can't even imagine its effect. It's completely changing the landscape of jobs and industries. It's a threat for businesses and professionals to the jobs known to you and me. We're going to have to take action to ensure good jobs for all, to sustain a robust economy, to ensure our people don't fall, Maimonides tells us the highest form of charity is to provide a job and to sustain dignity.
So at the beginning it was really tough because we're working with a group of 6 people with very, very different personalities and visions. And it was a big challenge. I think that challenge was as big as our actual challenge. But in the end we managed to align and we came together for the greater good of our project.
So if you take a step back and you say, okay, you know, are all these things that we've been busy with, are all these challenges or problems, are they all going to be executed, implemented? Maybe. And maybe some of them will evolve into other initiatives. But the thing that we were looking for, and I think the thing that we really pushed very hard, is the deep learning. And I think there, the program can give itself a very high score.
I have been so impressed and overwhelmed by the presentations made this evening and the wonderful projects that have been suggested and brought forward, things that are new, things that support the organizations in different ways, but all of them were attainable. If we look at the vision for what this organization and institute stands for, it's about Derech Eretz. It's about a path to justice. It's a path to teaching values. It's a path to understanding that diversity could be a strength in the community. It's a path to being able to bring people together from different backgrounds who can share their talents and their skills in order to create a very powerful focus for community investment and ensure the sustainability of our community going forward.